What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And now that we have a pretty large sample size from basically every single relevant hockey league on earth, the NHL is a third of the way through the season. Some like European leagues are halfway through at this point. I thought it'd be fun to bring back one of my favorite biannual series that I do, which is an update on recent NHL draft classes. Today, we're looking at the 2025 draft. It's been almost 6 months, almost half a year since the 2025 NHL draft. And yeah, we just go through the hockey DB pages and just talk about how these guys are looking in their draft year plus one. Now, is just looking at a hockey DB page the perfect way to determine how these guys are progressing? Of course not. We cannot watch hours of tape over on the Czech League for one prospect that went 28th overall or something like that. So that's what we're running through. Obviously, follow guys that are specialists within a certain league if you want to track how a guy is playing based on the eye test. But for this, we're just going to be going through the hockey DB and seeing who's really taking a huge step, who's maybe not living up to expectations. So let's get into it. And with this 2025 draft, I'm also going to be looking at my 2025 draft rankings because I want to see how my rankings are looking, if that makes sense. I don't want to lie to you guys. I would never do this, obviously. Like, if a guy was breaking out, I'd be like, I had him so high, I was higher than the most, and that's just not the case. So I'm gonna hold myself accountable because some of the best moments on this page, if we're gonna be honest, is when I'm just completely wrong, and see how these guys that I was high on, guys that I was low on, are kind of progressing thus far. I know how some of these guys are performing, like obviously like the top 10 guys, I kind of remember how they're performing right now, but it's definitely going to get interesting once we get to like 11 through 32. And yeah, Matthew Schaefer, I always had Matthew Schaefer starting in like December of 2024. Thought he was the pick for the Islanders. He's obviously aging well. Misa, Frondel, Martone, Desnoyers, Hagen's at 6. I remember I got called so biased again. This was before the Islanders didn't trade up. Like when the Islanders got Eklund and Aitchison instead of trading up, I was like, I like that more than just getting Hagens. People are like, you're just saying that because you didn't get Hagens. No, I had the draft rankings to show that. I was very high on Carter Bear. I don't actually know how he's performing right now. Jackson Smith, Brady Martin at 12. Ben Kindle's not going to age too hot. That's the one that's one of the guys that I know how they're performing right now. And spoiler alert, he's doing very good. Like these guys, I'm not really sure exactly how they're performing to what the I know Malcolm Spence is actually playing pretty good at Michigan. Yeah. Let's keep on going. Okay, that was just the top 40. And now we are going to get an update on the 2025 NHL draft. Okay, here we are, the 2025 NHL draft. As you can see, I have checked out some of these players in the last like 2 to 3 months since I got this new computer. Let's start it off with Mr. Schaefer. Safe to say that he's smashed expectations. 8 goals, 19 points, 27 games played. This season has probably been a top 10 defenseman in the NHL. I don't think I'm extremely biased for saying that. Yeah, we thought, oh, he's going to take some time to develop. Oh, should he go back to the OHL? Should he go to college hockey? I thought maybe college hockey made sense. No, he's way better than expected. And like, if he played this full OHL season, I wonder what his final stats would be and if there were more teams that would have ended up taking for him, because he has been that special of a talent. Michael Misa, unfortunately, has been dealing with an injury. 3.7 games. His underlying numbers were like pretty solid on the San Jose Sharks. But yeah, 134 points in that draft year was absolutely special. But yeah, we can't really draw too many conclusions about 7 games. Anton Frondel, I remember he definitely got off to a really hot start in Sweden. Let's see how he's... Okay, he has slowed down a little bit. I think he had like 10 points in his first 12-ish games. But I mean, still, in the SHL, to be that productive in your draft year plus one, that's solid. He's progressing to be a legit, well, he's not going to be the number 1 center on Chicago, but the perfect number 2 center behind Connor Bedard. Caleb Desnoyers, he was coming off an injury. Has he played yet? He has. Okay, he had wrist surgery, I believe. 13 points in 13 games. You got to hope that he's just ramping up. I was pretty high on him. What I have him in that 5th or 6th. But yeah, that's a little bit underwhelming. With Desnoyers, he was definitely, in my opinion, like a high floor, lower kind of ceiling guy, second line center behind Logan Cooley. So I'm not ready to slam the panic button because of that injury coming into the year, but definitely not good. Brady Martin, I don't know how Brady Martin has performed, if I'm gonna be honest. Ooh, 11 points in 10 games. I know people are gonna say I'm biased because I just Desnoyers basically had the same stat line. But yeah, 72 and 57 last year. He made the NHL team, but wasn't very good. He wasn't NHL ready. That was more of an indictment on how bad Nashville was. And yeah, to start this season, that's not ideal for a top 5 pick, if we're going to be honest, especially one that was heavily scrutinized at the time. Porter Martone, I know he's killing it in college. Yeah, 19 points in 14 games. Michigan State is an absolute wagon. He's the best player offensively on Michigan State right now. The size and the skill is scary with Porter Martone, man. Philly got a special player. James Hagan's last I checked was like 10 points in 10 games, I think. But he did have that hat trick like a week ago or something like that. Still a little bit underwhelming. When looking at him last year, he had Ryan Leonard, Gabriel Pro. You thought it was going to be more of a special draft year. This year, those guys are gone, and he just doesn't have as much to work with. But if he is this future first line center, you'd expect, especially considering he played his draft year in college, like he's adjusted to the game at this point at the college level. Yeah, he doesn't have great wingers, but he still has Latorno. Latorno's actually playing very good. You're very happy if that's Boston. He had like 3 points in his first college season in like 35 games, but he still has Teddy Stiga. He still has Latorno. He should be performing a little bit better. And I know Porter Martone only has 3 more points, but Hagan's still think that he's going to be a very, very good second line center. Will he become a first line center? We'll see. Jake O'Brien, he slowed down a little bit. I made a video on him when he had like 36 points in 15 games or so. He was like over 2 points per game. I'm not sure how to judge the OHL nowadays or the WHL or the QMJHL with the amount of guys that have left for college hockey. Like you look at Brantford is just an absolute wagon. They're number 1 in the OHL right now. And they have Vanacker was a first round pick. We'll be talking about him in the 2024 video. This guy I think is a 2026. Yeah, he's a 2026 eligible guy. Like they are beyond loaded. So it's kind of tough to judge Jake O'Brien, but it's good progression considering he's hovering around 2 points per game in the OHL. It's definitely positive. Radim Murka. Okay, still going at around a point per game for the 6'6" right-handed defenseman. You're pretty happy if you're Buffalo with that. Roger McQueen. Okay, Providence, 11 points, 15 games. You're just happy that he's really healthy right now if you're the Anaheim Ducks. Is he leading? Okay, they got some other pretty solid players. John Mustard was a 3rd-round pick for Chicago, I want to say. You're just happy that he's healthy, and that's okay production. You knew Roger McQueen's was going to be a little bit of a project. Ben Kindle, what I have him on my draft rankings, 20th. Yeah, he's already an NHLer. We'll see how high that ceiling is. Like, I don't take height into consideration. I don't know why I didn't have him higher because he dominated the WHL so much. But yeah, even me, who's not some kind of old head, you got to be big, you got to be physical. I was sleeping on Ben Kindle. I was high on Colin Potter, who we'll talk about, who is maybe an undersized guy, but miss on Ben Kindle as of right now. I didn't have him outside of the top 30 or anything, but Jack Nesbitt, another surprising pick at 12th overall after they took Luchenko the prior season. And yeah, another guy that is going to be a little bit of a project. The skating is a big concern, but he's 6'4". We'll see. I'm not going to, again, draw like huge conclusions based on that sample size. Carter Bear coming off a torn Achilles. It wasn't like completely ruptured. It was like a lower grade torn Achilles. Yeah, I was very high on him. And again, I'm coping maybe like Caleb Dedoye that he's just ramping it up. And yeah, 24 points in 20 games. I remember I checked at like the 10-game mark and he only had 10 points. So he has like 14 points in his last 10 games. This guy's an absolute dog. And again, I'm called the Red Wings hater, but I really like this pick by Detroit. Jackson Smith for Penn State. Okay, that's pretty solid. 9 points in 14 games. You'll take that every day of the week, making the transition from the WHL to the Big Ten. All the tools in the world to potentially be a number 1 defenseman once Zach Werenski eventually starts to regress and gets up into his mid-30s. Braden Coots made the team similarly to Brady Martin. Like, Ben Kindle actually paid out, but like when he made the team, I'm like, yeah, their forward core kind of stinks. They need centers, but 21 points in 14 games in the WHL right now. It's very, very encouraging for Braden Coots, another guy that is a very high floor, maybe a little bit of a limited ceiling. But yeah, looking solid for Vancouver. This wasn't some kind of crazy pick. He was mocked mostly in this range. Eklund, we got to get that goal scoring up, but around half a point per game in the SHL as a mid-first round pick. Very, very solid. Hyper productive in the 2nd-tier league in Sweden last year. Him and Frundell both playing pretty solid for Djurgårdens. Kashan Aitchison, the goal-scoring machine. Again, like, I don't know how to assess this. As a defenseman, he has 18 goals in 24 games. Like, the OHL just isn't what it is. I believe that they lost the most among leagues compared to the WHL, compared to QMJHL in terms of talent. So the top guys like O'Brien, like Aitchison are absolutely dominating. But yeah, he's a scary player in terms of the physicality and the goal scoring. And it's looking pretty solid for my Islanders. Cole Reshney, 15 points in 14 games for this guy that, again, a little bit undersized, but hyper skilled. 92 points in 62 games. You're definitely happy right now if you're a Calgary Flames fan. Goddamn. Justin Carbonneau, he stayed in the queue, right? Okay, the production is about the same as last year. He doesn't even have a picture on HockeyDB. Yeah, very skilled, very good shot. You're not overly concerned if you're a Blues fan, but you do hope that he picks it up a little bit and gets to like 1.7 points per game, considering what he did last year. Andrianov, what is he up to? He's in the VHL. He has a 924, 12 games. This was a little bit of a surprising pick. Undersized goaltender, going at 20th overall, ahead of like a Ravensbergen. But yeah, that's okay. Russian goalies usually tend to work out. We'll see how that ages. Cameron Reed. Okay, that's not great, but you're not panicking if he's around a point per game in the OHL this year. Bill Zonin only has played 2 games thus far. I ain't gonna. He's scoreless in 2 games. He's a horrible pick. Logan Hensler, how's he doing at Wisconsin? Yeah, okay, it's not taking a huge step offensively. You probably expected a little bit more, especially I believe Wisconsin's a better team this year too. Yeah, they're a pretty solid team with my guy Quinn Finley, Islanders prospect. But yeah, he still projects for Ottawa as long as he's like a very good third pair right-handed defenseman at this point. Like they're not going to be that mad. They have Yakimchuk. They got Jordan Spence for like absolutely nothing. So pressure isn't too much on him. Will Horkoff, I got to be honest. I was wrong about this guy. Where did I have him on my rankings? Let me pull up my rankings again. Did I even have this guy like top? Did I not even have him top 40? That's bad. Okay, yeah, he's killing it right now on Michigan. Him and Michael Hage are just dominant. 18 goals, 26 points in 18 games. Yeah, Michigan is a freaking wagon. We'll talk about Hage in the next video. Vaclav Nestrasil. I was very high on Nestrasil. 19 points, 9 of them being goals in 16 games on UMass. Okay, let's go. I was pretty high on Nestrasil. I remember people were kind of shocked that he went that high. Yeah, I had him at 22nd. Let's go. I missed on Horkoff, but Nestrasil, we got our lick back. Yeah, he the way that he progressed last year, and again, 6'5", and his playmaking ability, like Prospect Don really sold me on him. Go watch or like listen to Prospect Don. He's a great follow on Twitter and does good interviews. He's been developing very good at Nestrasil. Riker Lee, I was also pretty high on him compared to other people. He was a little bit surprised when he ended up going 26th overall. I Lee 24th. But yeah, on a very good Michigan State team, going at around point per game. You're very happy for the Nashville Predators with that one. I'd probably rate him as high as Brady Martin at this point. Lyndon Lakovic, big boy, big boy, and scoring at a higher clip right now. I like this pick for the Washington Capitals, and it's aging pretty solid. Boymedian, okay, not a huge step at Boston University, but again, Boston University does have Cole Hudson, so it's like it's kind of tough. He's not going to get those opportunities. But yeah, very skilled skater. Mason West just finished off the high school football season and won a state championship. He has not yet debuted for the Fargo Force this year, but yeah, he has all the physical tools and the mental tools probably as a quarterback to be special. Ravensbergen, 920 save percent. Okay, he's bounced back. That's very solid for the San Jose Sharks after a bit of a down year in his draft year with the 901, 6'5", the ideal goalie build. That's looking solid for them. Henry Brustevich on London. Okay, I would have expected a little bit more now that Sam Dickinson isn't there. Jared Woolley looks like their number 1 offensive defenseman, or is about the same clip as Brustevich, but no, still solid right-handed defenseman. Very valuable. And then Cullen Potter, a guy that I was very high on. Yes, taking a step in terms of production. As long as he goes at about a point per game, that's a very good pick for the last pick in the first round in his draft year +1. Let's go through maybe some other guys on this. How's Hao-Shi Wang producing? Okay, he's taking a solid step, and this was a pretty shocking pick considering he barely had 2 points at the OHL level. And now he has 10 points in 19 games. It might have been a cook by the San Jose Sharks. Zarovsky, oh my God, we got to talk about this guy. This guy has 20 points in 23 games in the KHL. Kent Hughes is a goddamn demon. 6'1". How's Blake Fiddler doing? Fiddler on the roof, continue to progress well for this. He's the number 1 Seattle Kraken prospect defenseman because they don't have much. There's my guy Jack Murtaugh. I was pretty high on him. Ooh, that's not ideal. Malcolm Spence, I'll show some love to New York. Actually, I thought he was producing more than he was. 11 points, 18 games. Solid for an early second-round pick. Prokhorov, we got to get my boy out of Russia. He's barely playing right now in Russia. It stinks. Vansagi, not quite as expected. Serrato, he got drafted in his draft year +2. So it's not like he's putting up 21 points in 16 games at 18, 19 years old. Like he is an older guy. He turns 21 this spring, but still a very good value pick for the Carolina Hurricanes. How's Jacob Ice Wozniak doing? Okay, second-tier Swedish league, 9 points in 8 games. This guy was a demon in his draft year -1 and was like a consensus top 10 pick, but eventually fell a decent amount. Some people are... Eddie Genborg. Very productive right now in the SHL. More productive than Victor Eklund. 15 points in 25 games. Detroit. Look, their draft's looking pretty solid, assuming that that Carter Bear gets back on track. Will Moore, not exactly killing it right now. Ivan Ryabkin, he's at the AHL level. Interesting. Jack Ivankovich, pretty solid. 922 save percentage over for the University of Michigan. Just don't want to. Kurban Limitov, I was pretty high. I was decently high in him. Okay, in the MHL, only 7 points in 15 games thus far. Charlie Trethaway, I remember that name. He was very high early on in the process for the 2025 draft class. Bryce Pickford, he's doing pretty good in the WHL. I've had Canadians fans talk to me about him nonstop. He is an overager, draft year +1. He got drafted. Cameron Schmidt, how's he doing? All right, tearing up the WHL as always. Probably shouldn't have fell to 94th overall, considering his production. And is there anybody? LJ Mooney, how's he doing? Okay, 13 points, 17 games. He is a very undersized guy, but again, for 113th overall, Montreal has been able to develop some of these undersized guys. And considering he's clicking at like 0.75 points per game in the NCAAs, very solid pick there. Zeb Lindgren, I just like that name. Let's click on him. He's a Rangers pick, unfortunately. Damn it, I don't like him anymore. Heisey, any relationship to Taylor Heisey, the PWHL player? 15 points, 21 games. All right, we're finishing this off. Sanderson, another Sanderson. Anybody else that catches the... Oh, Philip Ekberg. I remember it was surprising that he fell as much as he did after a pretty solid OHL season. Undersized guy, Carolina Hurricane. They always get the goddamn guys that fall, and sometimes it works out massively. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this video? What are your early reactions to the 2025 draft class? Again, these are only like 20 to 30 games for a lot of these guys. I'm not ready to massively overreact, but it is interesting to see how these guys are progressing at like the third halfway point of their season. Let me know. We'll be doing the 2024 draft in a couple of days, 2023, probably Sunday or Monday. I'll be seeing the next one. Peace.